Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. Just trying to finish up loading up these rounds for my uncle for the little 250 3000 Savage project that we were working on, the Model 99. Actually, that thing's a lot of fun to shoot. I ran the serial number on the rifle just to try to figure out the age, and the date of manufacture. The year of manufacture was 1924, so pretty cool. Rifle's almost 100 years old. But to kind of just recap, so pretty much my uncle hit me up. Deer season, gun season for whitetail deer here in the state of Alabama. It opened up across the state this past Saturday. Previous to that, there were certain zones that opened up a little bit earlier, maybe a week or two earlier than that. And then, of course, you had your youth hunt, that type of stuff. Typically, that takes place the weekend before gun season opens up. They do a youth hunt or whatever. So, but for the remainder of the zones and the rest of the state, gun season opened up this past Saturday and is in full force. So we're slightly delayed in getting these rounds over to my uncle, but is what it is. My wife ended up testing positive for COVID, so that's been a fun experience so far, just trying to navigate that, and which sucks because she tested positive for it. I think it was like last Wednesday. Today's Monday, so tested positive. Got the positive results like last Wednesday, so that means not really going to get to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner this year, so which sucks. It's going to be a pretty crappy Thanksgiving for us, so she's pretty upset about it. I'm not super thrilled about it. We were looking forward to spending time with family and, of course, eating a ton of good food and not feeling guilty about it. So we're going to miss out on that, but she's, I think, recovering. It's just kind of, she feels the same day in and day out, just pretty crappy overall. She can't taste or smell anything, which is the worst part, right? Going into Thanksgiving, for her, that's what she complains about the most. It's like, man, we're coming into Thanksgiving dinner. We've had a couple people drop us, or my mom dropped us off some food so far, some leftovers. We had one family dinner this past Saturday, and so we didn't get to go, and so she brought some food out, set it on the porch for us, so we're able to enjoy some leftovers. But it's just kind of extra frustrating for her because she can't taste any of it, so she's a little upset about that. But we're dealing with it. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out. But so this rifle project, it was pretty fun. Really short-lived just because of the timeline, trying to get this back over to my uncle really quick. He, to go back over it, it's a Model 99 Savage, chambered in 250 3000 Savage or 250 Savage, however you prefer to call it. He did have a bullet requirement. 87 grains is what he wanted to shoot. So again, I was kind of pressed trying to find components for this, because it's not necessarily an obscure cartridge, but it's definitely not 308 or 223. So it was just a lot more difficult to find reloading components, for it than other calibers I've reloaded for. So that kind of made it a challenge, but we got everything in. Went with Remington brass just because that was all I could find. I went with Remington brass. I went with CCI large rifle primers, the number 200s, or number 200. Went with those. The Sierra, and even though these are varminter, it says on their website that you can use these for deer, whitetail deer. So that's why I went with those. Bought a couple boxes of them. Got 100 pieces of brass. I'm gonna end up turning over 60 rounds to him. That's what I'm gonna send to him. And then I'm just gonna tell him hold on to the brass. If he wants me to reload everything, I'll go back through and do it. Kind of a once over Once I get all the brass back, I'll, load everything up for him and give him 100 pieces back if he wants. But for right now, we'll stick with the 60 because that's how many new pieces of brass I have left. I think it's actually 65, but we're just going to go with 3 20-round little MTM boxes of ammo. So he'll get 60 rounds. I went with Accurate 4064, and was really pleased with the initial results. I just loaded up some 3-shot groups just to try to see if this, bullet powder rifle combination would shoot halfway decent. If you'll remember, we shot okay. Nothing too crazy. I did Winchester Stay-Ball and Accurate 4064, but we decided to go with Accurate 4064, 33.5 grains. That gave us our best group in our first round of testing. And so then I went back and I just wanted to test, going below and above that in 1/10 of a grain increments. What would that look like? So the follow-up testing, I started off, I actually shot 33.5. I shot it first, just to verify, would this load actually, would that be repeatable, right? That's kind of what I wanted to know. And I'll be John Brown, it is. So 3-shot group, sub MOA. So there you go. Not too bad on that group. And then I shot the 33.3 group, and that's not too bad either. So I was pretty shocked by that one, actually. Let me get this. Oh, had an overthrow or an overcharge. I was pretty shocked by that group right there. 3-shot group. That's what I expect out of my 6.5 Creedmoor, my Savage 110 Tactical. If I'm shooting 3-shot groups, that's kind of my level of expectation for that rifle. It's been just such an amazing shooter. But for a rifle that's almost 100 years old, that was not meant to be a target rifle at all, that was, that was pretty impressive to me. 33.4, I pulled that shot. I'm 100% sure. It's just the combination of how thin the profile is on the rifle itself and the trigger. It's not a target trigger, guys. It was, again, manufactured in 1924. And so it is what it is. But I feel like that group could have been a lot better. And then, so that was 33. I started at 33.5 just to validate that previous group to see if it was decent, and it was. And then I went back to the 33.3, 33.4, and, that one shot amazing. That one, I feel it could have been a lot better, but, is what it is. So goes life. And then I wanted to go above just to see what that one would look like. It kind of opened back up. I felt like all 3 of those shots were really good. So, I was like, well, I feel like, kind of on this end is where I want to more or less focus. And I was like, I'm just going to load up the 33.3 charge. That's going to be the hunting charge. Again, not a target rifle. Somebody on, I think on one of the live streams on Twitch for Johnny's Reloading Bench, I think they were talking about it, and someone was asking about the accuracy for it, and it's like, somebody commented, hey, it's a minute a deer rifle, right? Which essentially is true. All you're doing is trying to shoot a deer. So it's not like you're, really dialing in a target load or competition load or anything with it. So I think that'll work. 33.3, 0.4, 0.5, I feel like would be a pretty good load for this rifle. We're just going to go 33.3 and move on from there. So that's it. Those were the results. It was a lot of fun to shoot this rifle. Somewhat nerve-wracking simply because of the age and how much this rifle means to my uncle. It's been handed down through his family. So it was definitely nerve-wracking, but a whole lot of fun. Had a guy come up to me at the range and tried to buy it from me on this last range session. Just, you know, kept on and on about it because he'd been looking for one in the Savage cartridge, one of the Savage cartridges, and you know, he just kept on about wanting to buy it and trying to buy it off of me, and I'm like, yeah, no, sorry, not mine to sell, and even if it was mine, I wouldn't sell it. I mean, that's just such a fun rifle to shoot, and I feel like it'd be a really good rifle to carry in the woods with a thin profile, you know, kind of lightweight, even though it has a wood stock on it. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. You know, not much else to it. Pretty straightforward. It took us a couple of range trips to, you know, settle on a load and go from there. You know, hopefully these will perform well for him on some deer. I'm hoping that he can kill a couple and kind of give me feedback on how they performed. That was something my dad sent me a picture, you know, off, you know, different topic, different caliber at least. I loaded up some 30-06 rounds for him, the 150 grain Nosler ballistic tips for my dad, and he was able to drop a doe with them. So, you know, he was pretty ecstatic about that, and I was too. You know, obviously, if I'm loading up the round, I want it to perform the way that it should, and more than happy with the way his 30-06 load performed. He was shooting, he shoots a Ruger American rifle, and yeah, so there we go. That's it. We'll leave it here. So that's it for the 250 3000 Savage. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, if you have one of these, or if you've struggled working on load development for one, I don't know, maybe this helps you out. Maybe it kind of gives you a point of reference. Accurate 4064 was great in this application. It did really well. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch y'all next time.